So let me know when we started.
I will.
Well, you got to do the intro anyway.
No, you're going to say part of it. So your part of the intro is the Ultimate Curiosity Show.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
How dare you to say it like that?
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
Stop. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready when you are ready.
I told
Waiting
you.
for the magic.
Anyway. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready?
You know that the last 4 minutes I've been recording, and that's what becomes the opening to these episodes. Did you know that? So waiting for the magic might be our opening. Just know. And you snored it twice so far, so.
Don't care.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of From Art to Atoms.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
I'm Michael.
I'm Thomas.
And so if you notice that I'm giving the intro to this week's episode, Brandon is still working through his one-act play competition. And so he is taking a break again this week. And so I've asked Thomas, my husband, to fill in for Brandon. So I will say right now at this point, buckle up, buttercups, because the show's about to start.
Very good.
Okay, so we're going to be talking this week and just kind of doing a general episode on, we were going to do it on relationships and marriage, and Thomas has overridden me on that one, and he wants to talk this week about his other passion besides books, which is...
Video games.
Yeah, you got to be louder.
Video games.
There you go. And so we're going to talk about video games this week, and I will say that Thomas is much more of a video game player than I am. Just understand that. So he has more to say about it than I do, I guess, because I just go in and play. But he's like, when we were discussing this episode, I was like, okay, so what are we going to talk about? I mean, you just play video games. He's like,
well, why don't we talk about video games?
Okay, but what about them?
Anything really. Like, you could talk about what systems you prefer. We could talk about what games we prefer, the type of games that we prefer, narrative games, open world games, all of the variety of gaming jargon. But
Okay.
ultimately, I thought we would just talk about our history with gaming. Like, you game just as much as I do. Like,
That's not true. That's not
You
true.
game on your phone. You game on...
Okay, but I don't consider this a video game.
But it is.
But I don't consider that a video game. When I think video games, I think system platforms. I don't think of that at all.
So I thought that we could talk about video games because they have been kind of part of our lives, you know,
Our upbringings.
Because gaming consoles came out, you know, while we were kids,
Mhm.
and they kind of targeted us. And I think that was brilliant because, look, we're still gaming in our 40s. And I think that it's been a part of our lives for so long. That's what we should talk about.
Okay, so but you just said they targeted us, meaning at that age we were 6 or 7. They targeted 6 or 7-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they targeted kids and you know, people that had kids, right? And like, my mom kind of became a gamer because I was a gamer, but she wasn't as invested in it as I was. I was more invested in it. Like,
Okay, so then what I would go ahead and start with then is we need to look at the video game expulsion. The video game explosion of the late 70s. And before consoles came out, though, we need to talk about the founder of Atari, who was... You don't know who the founder of Atari is?
No.
It's Nolan Bushnell.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so Nolan Bushnell decided to basically discover or invent a home video game system, also became Atari itself. And he did this as a market for home video games because he was an arcade guy. Do you know what he started also?
I have no clue.
Okay, so Nolan Bushnell was also the proprietor of Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater.
Oh, cool.
He invented that. And he, in San Jose, California in 78, I believe, started that company as a market for his arcades. Like it was not meant to be a birthday party, little kid place at all. It was targeted at teenagers and the arcades themselves. Pinball machines, arcade machines, stuff like that. And so that's really kind of where it starts off with.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of where it resonates with us, because that was right around the time we were born. And then the whole Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza Place competition thing happened that resolved itself in 86. And then they became one company. Bushnell was not, he, I guess, got rid of his investment with that company and served over his rights to it. And then Atari had come out in 78, so all of this, or 75, whatever it was.
Right.
But I think that was the start of it right there. And that, when I say marketed to, I think they were marketed to teenagers first.
Yeah, teens and then
right.
It kind of trickled down.
Right. And then, so the 2600. Now, so that was our first skim system. Was an 8-bit system, I think.
I'm guessing. I can't.
Thomas is researching for us. He's on the other end, usually my role of research while we're doing live broadcasts. And so, or live recordings, I should say. And so he is not doing a very good job of it right now.
Well, why don't you take over then?
Okay, fine. Give it to me. So Atari came out, and I remember having my grandmother bought it for the four original grandkids. Casey was born in 78. Jamie, Marcel, and I were all born in 80. So we had one growing up. I remember playing it as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Very, 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 very crude graphics.
Very.
But I remember a lot of the games we used to play. So do you remember any of your games? You said Frogger was one.
Frogger. I love Frogger.
I remember playing Frogger on our system.
Space Invaders.
Okay.
And then there was another one that my mom had that she liked to play, but I did not get into that one, and I cannot remember for the life.
Do you know what happened in it?
I kind of want to say it was some kind of worm or some kind of something.
Centipede?
Yeah, Centipede. That was it.
Okay. So one of the games you didn't mention, which was really big on the system, carried over from the arcades, was Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Pac-Man?
Yep, we did. We had Pac-Man.
And then we also played it had the controller with the wheel on it. It wasn't like the joystick, it was the wheel. And we played not Pong.
I want to say, okay, so that was like the back and forth.
Yeah.
With the paddles.
Mm-hmm. Breakout.
Was it that?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we had that one too, but I don't remember having the knob, but maybe we did.
Yep. See, there's the gameplay for Breakout.
Okay.
And y'all didn't have the knob?
I don't remember it.
Do you know about it at all?
I don't remember it. So that one, I remember the joystick, right? Like that with the red button.
Yeah.
The precursor to all joysticks.
Yeah. It's definitely a very classic design on that joystick. It's the Atari CX40 joystick is the classic design of that one.
Yep.
And if you don't know anything about it, look at it. It's very, very 80s and 70s.
Yeah.
Because it's just black with one red button. And then it's got the classic kind of dotted line around the center, which is in orange. And I don't know why in the 70s we always used orange. Very, very, very just...
Yeah. It was a popular color.
Hold on. I'm looking for the picture of that one. Knob controller, spinner controller, maybe. Yep, that was it right there. That was the paddles.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe I do remember that. Yeah. With the, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the button on the side.
Yep.
So we did have that.
Yep. And so we played with that one. I will say, and I think Brandon and I have talked about this one before, but E.T., we played E.T. on my grandmother's Atari also.
We didn't have E.T.
And I'm going to tell you what, that was the worst game in the world to ever play. It was horrible. Horrible. Poor little E.T. You had to run across the screen and he'd fall into some random hole in the thing, and then you had to like lift his neck up to make him fly back up, and at the very top sometimes his neck would give out and he'd fall back down, and then and there was no rhyme or reason. You didn't know where the holes were. You was running and all of a sudden you would fall into one, and there had some it was horrible. I will say that E.T. the Extraterrestrial on Atari is considered the worst video game of all time and possibly the cause of the video game crash of 1983.
Well, I do remember being very, very young and playing my mom's Atari, but I think by the time I was like 7 or 8, I kind of stopped playing video games because Atari got boring.
And so that's really kind of what the crash, when you look at the crash, is that they flooded the market with everything and that people were just tired. Yeah, they were bored with it. And so we, like I said, we didn't play that much on it because it was only when we visited Mama Betty.
I don't remember playing that much on it. I just remember playing on it.
Yeah.
And then in the early 90s, I remember getting a Nintendo,
an NES.
an
So I
NES.
remember like 88. I remember the kid down the street had one, and I was like, oh no, here we go. And that was like all we want to. I mean, like giving crack to kids. That's all we wanted to do was play that was Mario 1 and Duck Hunt.
I think
You know,
when we moved to Louisiana, when I was at the end of the summer, whenever I was like about to turn 10 years old in like 1990, I remember there was a kid that had a Nintendo, and I played a game at his house, and
Mhm.
then I went back to my mom, and I was like obsessed with, I want one.
I need this.
Yeah, that.
I'm sure that went over really well,
Oh, well, yeah.
knowing your mom.
And then I can't remember if she gave me one or my grandfather gave me one the next year. And then that was it. Like I would play Mario, I would play Duck Hunt. Like we
Mhm.
had the little gun with the
Mhm.
Duck Hunt.
Yep.
And I think I even had Zelda for a little while, The Legend of Zelda, which I know you were a fan of. But did you
Yes.
play it on that system, or did you play it?
No, I didn't. So my earlier system games for my NES was just kind of Dr. Mario, which was like the pill you had to match, just like Tetris kind of thing. So you had to match the pills up one color, and so we
I
played
had
that a lot. We played Blades of Steel. That was a hockey game, and I can still hear it. It's the players come out and they're like dun 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 dun.
We played California games.
Okay.
My cousin got me into that game, and I played that one like crazy.
Is that like the skateboarding, all
Yeah,
the different
like you
things
could-
that you could do in California?
Yeah,
And so like I remember that one for the NES, obviously the Mario franchise, all three of them that came out on the system, 1, 2, and 3. We played Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden.
I heard
That
of
was a
one,
big
but
one.
I don't remember playing
1 and
that
2.
one.
I remember playing that 1 and 2 on there. A really weird one that came out, two of them that were more kind of later 90s, or not later 90s, but early 90s, I guess, late 80s, kind of after the system came out when they started doing like the trademarked characters. I remember Bart Simpson versus Alien Invaders, and I remember that one. So you had to basically go through town with a can of spray paint and spray paint things, and the aliens were hidden in the town. You had to like switch over to a different mode, kind of put your sunglasses on, and then the sunglasses would reveal them because the heads would change
Yeah,
on the people. So I remember playing that one. And one that I don't think a lot of people even knew was out there, but it was Domino's Pizza's mascot from the late 80s and early 90s. Do you remember who that was?
no.
Yo Noid.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Do you remember
him.
playing the character?
I don't remember playing the game, but I remember
The
him.
character?
I
Yeah.
remember
So,
the character now.
This was a big one for me and Marcel. Like it was
Avoid the Noid.
Yeah. Well, in this one he would run and he had like a yo-yo and he'd shoot it out, and that's how you would get rid of people sometimes. And then in some of them he had the pizza crusher, which was like a pogo stick that he would bounce around on. I do like very distinctly remember playing this game. See, when it came out, it was yep. So it was released in Japan in 90 and then came to the States just a little bit after that. So I do remember that one. Like these are very specific.
Yeah, and it's like whenever the Nintendo came out and I had the games, I remember playing them, and I remember years of playing those games
Mhm.
on the system.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, I stopped getting new games, and it would
Okay.
just recycle through the old games. And
Yeah.
like, Blockbusters and other video
Mhm.
stores started carrying the video games, and you could rent them. And I remember every once in a while I'd rent a game, but they weren't really it was still the same core games that I would play.
Right.
And then
Now this is for the NES.
right, for the NES.
So when did you graduate to the next system?
that I can't remember, because I know it was the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
And I don't think it was right when it came out. I think it had been out for a little while before we got one.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that there was a pause. At some point, I stopped gaming on the home gaming system.
Mhm.
Like I preferred arcade games at one point, and then we got the Sega Genesis, and that opened new doors.
The door, yeah.
And so it was Sonic and Streets of Rage.
Oh, I remember that one for sure.
Well, we played
Streets
that
of Rage,
recently
yeah.
on the Xbox.
So my aunt and Kathy had a Genesis for Casey and Jamie, and Dad ended up getting one, but for Jarrett, and we just stuck with the Nintendo. So whenever we'd go visit, we'd always play them. So I remember like going to Aunt Kathy's house, and I was like, "Do you want to go swimming in the pool? She had an in-ground pool," and I was like, "Nope."
I want to go play Sega.
I just want to sit right in front of this TV and play some Sonic. So no, I was very much into that. But I guess the games that like I remember from being at Dad's house specifically, and these are the games that I look for because like on the Switch they have retroed a lot of these games. Like you can get the Passport that has the Sega games in it, and they release so many of them, and they do the same thing with the NES, Super NES, the GameCube and stuff like that. So these are still the games I'm looking for that have not been released yet. But one of them is the Jurassic Park game when it first came out. It's a 16-bit cartridge. I am still. Do you remember that one? On the Genesis?
Had that one. I remember also whenever I got my Genesis, it reinvigorated my love for NES, and I went back and started playing more of that. Yeah, I had the Jurassic Park game.
Mm-hmm.
I had, what was it? One of the Ninja Turtle games, but I think I had that on the NES.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one that I started playing after.
Yeah. So my NES games, I guess, because we didn't talk about we talked about some of them, but not a lot of them. So Ninja Gaiden was one of them. Ninja Turtles, the original, not the arcade, but the original game. That was one that we also played very much so. And then, like I said, there are some other obscure ones that if I've forgotten about that. Like when I go through, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I remember playing this. Like those are some of those games.
When Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out, I remember they released a game, and I think it was on NES, and I played that one as well.
Yeah, I've never played that one. I'll tell you that. I've never played that one.
And I cannot remember what year that was either. I know it was in the 90s.
But Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out, I think, 90? 89, 90? Let's see. 89.
Okay, so that came out in 89. So then it must have been one of the original games that I got with the system.
I've never seen this game.
It was fun. I loved it. I played a lot. But then again, I loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So
yeah.
It was one of my favorite films.
This is, looking at the pictures of this reminds me, I don't know, I just had a flashback to a game. I'm going to have to look at the list of games from 89 because I just had a flashback on one that kind of reminds me of this. That had something to do with a story or a movie or something like that. It was based on that. I'm going to have to check on that. Did you ever play? Oh, no, that was Super NES. Oh, I'll get to that one in a second. You were going to say something?
I was going to say, so like I went from NES to Sega, Genesis. Yeah. And then I think we did get the Super NES.
Okay.
But I also ended up with not the Game Boy, but the
Game Gear.
The Game Gear from Sega. Yeah. And I remember having the Batman game on
like the Batman movie games?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of them on that, the
Game
handheld,
Gear.
and I would play that all the time.
So Dad ended up getting a Game Boy for Jared, which ended up turning out to be a Game Boy for him and Liz. They didn't. Jared hardly played it, but they played a lot of it. Tetris was a big game. I remember playing a little bit about it, but I don't remember a lot of the Game Boy stuff. Paperboy was a big one too. I forgot.
Oh yeah, Paperboy on NES.
That was a big one.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that one for some reason when I hit up Game Boy, because I think we had it on Game Boy also, and then we'd play it there.
And when I got the Genesis, and I went back and started playing between the two systems. Paperboy was one of the games that I would consistently play.
Then moving on to Genesis, like I said, we didn't have one, but I did have a Game Gear also. So I remember. I'm gonna tell you this story.
No.
Oh, this will make so much more sense to you why I'm the way I am now with gift giving.
Okay.
I've never told you the story.
No.
So one thing that I remember is Mom got me the Game Gear, and she would have her own bathroom in her bedroom, and there was a closet, like just a general closet in the bathroom. And she would always hide the presents in that closet because we weren't allowed to go in there, Yeah. Okay. So I knew that she had gotten it for me, and I ended up, I forget what we were doing. I think she was at work and we were off for Christmas break. Like, you know how Christmas break falls like sometimes in the middle of the break, the 2 weeks or whatever. So you have a couple of days. So I remember going in there and actually opening the gift, my Game Gear. Hold on. I opened my Game Gear, had batteries for it and everything, but I'd plug it up to the wall.
Yeah.
And she got me X-Men. Age of Apocalypse was the game I was playing at that time.
Okay.
And I would go in there and I would just lay on her bed playing my Game Gear like the week before Christmas, not realizing that she would never know. And so when it would come time to put it up, I would just go ahead and retape it up. Put it back in the box like it was originally in there, and retape it up. Retape it up and put it back in there. And I did this for like a week and a half before I actually got the thing at Christmas time.
And so then when you opened it and you were playing it, your sister's like, "Why is your high score so high?"
Shit, Marcel knew what I was doing. She knew what I was doing. But this is now you see why I have an issue with giving gifts.
Yeah.
Like why I have to give it to you right away because I don't have the ability to go ahead and hold on to that. So I do remember having a Game Gear.
It's funny you said X-Men game because I remember an X-Men game, but I can't remember what system it was on. I don't know if maybe that was the Super NES because we did get one of those, and I remember that was the last one we got for a long time. Like that, I kind of stepped away from gaming, like in my late teens when I was in high school and my early 20s, and I kind of
this was the instructional manual for the Game Gear's X-Men game.
Oh, cool.
Like I remember it specifically. And so we did have a Game Gear, and then I don't know much about that though. Like I don't remember much about getting anything more than that.
Yeah.
It was a few other games, but
yeah, I didn't have a lot of games for my Game Gear. I remember the Batman game, and I think that was pretty much the only one that I played consistently enough to have a memory of playing it. But I don't remember which Batman film it was associated with because I don't remember if it was the Batman Returns.
Well, this one came out in 94, so I'm assuming it was around that time frame.
Yeah.
So probably Batman Returns.
Yeah, probably so.
And so let's see. I also got a PlayStation 1. Probably 15, 90, 95, 96. And so games on there, Crash Bandicoot was a big one on there. Twisted Metal. Do you remember that one at all?
No, I never played PlayStation. Like
Okay.
once PlayStation and Xbox started coming out, I didn't get any of the game systems until Xbox 360. I did play arcade games, and occasionally I'd go back and I'd play like Super NES or the regular, no, it was Super because that's all we had left at that point. And sometimes the Sega, we pulled the Sega out of the attic one time and we hooked it up and it still worked. And so we would, but it was very rare, and Mom played it more than I did at that point. And I don't actively remember getting another gaming system until Xbox 360, and I don't remember when that came out. It was very close to when they retired it.
Right. So I had the PlayStation, so we used to play a couple of games on there, but Marcel was not a big game player, so I couldn't play. I had to play one-person games. I couldn't have to play two-person games.
Yeah.
And so after that, then I went off to college. Like it kind of entered high school. It was 95, I guess, when I got the PlayStation, and it kind of was there, but then it just kind of collected dust because I didn't have time to play it, and I didn't have time or money to buy the games, and really wasn't truly invested in a system like that. And then, so I remember going off to college, and the suite mates had the Nintendo 64.
Okay.
And so we never had a Super NES, but my aunt and uncle did. My mom's brother, Uncle Pauline and Vida, had one, and I'd play the Zelda games on there. And they also had, it was not Sky Fox. What was it? Star Fox was one. But, I remember I have more memories of the 64 because I was in my early 20s at that point. And we used to play competition games with four of us because, the 64 had four adapters for joysticks or controllers.
Okay.
You could play four different people. And so one of the bigger games we played was 007 GoldenEye, with Pierce Bronson on the cover of it. That's when it came out. But you could play in 4-person mode. There was 2 up top and 2 on the bottom on the screen. So it was split like a...
I remember when split screen games came out.
Yes.
I didn't have a system that had them, but I watched other people play them.
Yeah.
Like I would go someplace to hang out with somebody and they'd be playing like Mario Kart or something.
Right.
And it would be
right.
split screen and I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
This was split into 4 screens and you could play 4 different people and your job was to basically just hunt each other. And we used to play that. The other one, and I guess one I didn't mention was on PlayStation, going back to that one really fast, was that we used to also rent the PlayStation from Blockbuster. Because remember, you could rent consoles also. But it was only on days like nights we had sleepovers. So I remember my 3 friends and we would get that. And I remember the first time we saw Resident Evil. We played that stupid game in the dark. And it scared the bejesus out of us.
So is it sad to say that the first time I played Resident Evil was on the Xbox, the one that came after 360? I can't remember which that one.
I don't know.
The Xbox One.
It's not sad to say that.
But it was the remastered version
of the original version.
The original.
So you got the originals. Yeah, so we did play that. So 64, like I said, was a big one for me. That's really where the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time came out. That was a huge game for us. I still play that one to this day. Probably if I had to name 3 top video games, that would be probably in that category.
Yeah.
Just the first kind of real open world game
Mm-hmm.
on those systems. That it was not linear. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like when I think back on games from that time,
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning, there are very few that I remember for their story.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I remember Zelda had a story.
Yeah.
And
even though it had a story, I mean, most of the games, when you think about them, kind of have stories.
yeah, but they're just not as memorable in those early stages.
I mean, even the original Mario had a story.
Right.
You know,
you had to rescue the princess.
Correct.
But,
and so forth.
But that
Zelda,
was more like, for me, it was more a goal. Like,
yeah.
that was
yeah.
your goal. And
yeah.
it kind of faded.
Didn't give Mario or Princess a backstory. You didn't know why they knew each other or how Mario ended up in Koopa World or the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever. You know?
Right.
So the Ocarina of Time, though, meaning when I say that it was not linear, it was very much open world, that you could control what you did at certain times. You did not have to follow the path that was dictated by the developers of the video game. And so for me, I could still spend hours on that game. And there's so much in the world that you can explore in that game. And I will tell you that if you've never played any of the Zelda games recently, they continue that tradition. It is very open world, very puzzle oriented, very, a lot of different things that you could spend hours playing those games.
Yeah.
And so to Thomas's point, though, video games themselves have a storyline at this point. You play narrative games. You like those kinds of games.
Right. Well, and so, backtracking just a little bit, I did play video games on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started finding games with stories.
Right.
So like the Tomb Raider games, the first couple of Tomb Raider games actually had a narrative to them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of, jump and solve the puzzle and do the things. Wasn't so much open world, but, there was a narrative that you were following in those games. And then, stepped away from gaming for a little while. And then what brought me back was the 360. And I don't know why I bought one. I just remember one time I was at the store and they were on sale.
So you as an adult purchased one?
I as an adult purchased one.
Okay.
Because I was like, I used to like gaming. That used to be something that I liked to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I picked up the Xbox and I got a couple of games. I looked at, reviews. And when I started playing them, it took me a minute because I was taken aback by, wow, these are completely different graphics,
mm-hmm.
different controls, different objectives even. And then the more I started getting into the games themselves, the more I realized it wasn't just gaming anymore. There were stories, there were characters that, you were getting invested in. One of the first games I played on 360 was the very, very first Mass Effect game.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one came out not that long after. And I had bought that one as well, which I think I didn't finish the first Mass Effect game until after I'd played the second game. And I was like,
okay,
I need to go back and finish the first one to figure out what happened.
Right.
And so that kind of launched me into this era of gaming.
You're in your gaming era?
Yeah, exactly. No, the era of gaming where I'm like, okay, I can like sit here and watch people play, and I can sit here and like play for hours and hours and hours and just enjoy myself
mm-hmm.
without really having to expend or expend too much energy on it,
Right, right.
It's relaxing, but at the same time, engaging my brain.
So I'm trying to think. So Xbox was yours. So the 360, then you had a 1.
Mm-hmm. And then now we have the
X series, or I guess is it 10?
Yeah, whatever, the Series X or Series S or whatever.
That's the most recent one, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any of the Game Boy Advances or anything like that, like the other handhelds? So I do remember having a Game Boy Advance, which was stolen out of my Jeep when I was moving to Charlotte because I forgot. I was robbed, left everything in the Jeep because I just pulled into it and just got there late at night and forgot to take the important stuff out like an idiot.
Is that why you were afraid of leaving things in the car?
Yes. Yes. And so my laptop and everything was stolen. But so I did have that. And now I have a Switch. I think after my 360, not my 360, my 64, my Nintendo 64, kind of shied away because that's really kind of where I stopped playing video games. And I still have my 64, but I don't play it, because with the Switch, I can just get all my games I need to. Paper Mario and stuff like that's all on my Switch.
Now with backward
compatibility
and like free gaming and stuff like that.
So I don't need the old system. And plus, I think one of the cords for the controller was torn up a little bit. I think got chewed up or something like that. But my Nintendo 64 was a watermelon clear. So you could see all the inner workings on it. And I remember purchasing. I remember where I was when I bought it.
I remember seeing those too.
And I remember buying it. I remember, I was probably maybe 20 years old.
Yeah.
When I bought mine. And so I kind of moved on to that, the system. I kind of graduate out of those. And then life happened. I started moving around. I wasn't in one place at one time anymore. It was never something I really did anymore.
Yeah.
Until you.
Yeah.
And then you used to play your Xbox. And then I wanted a Switch when it came out and finally got one. Yep. I still play it occasionally. I don't play it a lot anymore just because time-wise, and because Thomas dictates and controls the television. And I will say that I can play my Switch remotely, like, I don't have to be tied to a TV. However, the old man's eyes don't work as good, and that little bitty screen is not as big as it used to be. And I need the bigger screen to see stuff, especially when I'm kind of like reading the subtitles and stuff like that from what the characters are saying. And I'm like, what the hell did they just say? I got to read that stuff, and then I can't read it. So
hold that in your mind right now.
Okay.
When I say this.
Okay.
Why do you think I won't let you move the Xbox away from the TV it's currently at? Because my eyes can't see things on the smaller screens.
Well,
in the bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Switch was in the bedroom. It was that's a 27-inch screen, I guess, in the bedroom. And we have a 55, 60-inch.
Yeah, it's a pretty big
in the living room. And so we moved all the consoles out there because at one point the Xbox was plugged up to the television in the living room, and then the Switch was just in the back. It
was in the bedroom.
Yeah, and so I can't see. And to be fair, also that the bedroom, the TV is mounted on the wall, and it's all the way across the room.
Well, that used to be our TV in the living room,
right?
And then when we upgraded and I kept my Xbox on that TV, I was like, oh,
yeah, no, I remember that
because I was like, I can see this much better. And then Mom got me the most recent Xbox,
mm-hmm.
and the better graphics work better with the HD TVs.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I know
that when I want to play my Switch, I have to work around your Xbox time.
Yeah,
because you do play more.
I do play more.
Yes,
and you let me.
I do.
You're like, here's your remote.
Yeah, and that's because I have my iPad, and I will also read, or I'll get up and go do something else. Like,
and
I'm
you
okay
play
with
games
that.
on your iPad. Like, you don't consider them video games, but they are. They're video games.
Okay. To be fair, on the iPad, I literally play two main games. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It is my coloring game,
mm-hmm.
which is not really a game, and really, let me tell you, on the coloring thing, I have it there because I'm on a research for a 1 whole year thing.
Right.
And I'm working on that now.
But at the same time, that's to me is like coloring book.
Yeah, I get that.
But I'm talking about like your puzzle games, kind of like Tetris, where you're having to line up the different.
Yeah, but I don't play them religiously. Like, those are like, oh, look at that ad, and then I play it for a couple of rounds. I'm like, eh. But the one I'm in, it's very similar. It's Match Mansion, I think it is. It's what it's called or something, mm-hmm. where I'm matching certain things up, and
yeah,
I do play that one a lot. So I will say that I do enjoy that one a lot. I'm like high up there as far as how many rounds I'm in.
And I know what you mean by ads, because like, you're in apps and you see ads and you're like, oh, let me try these games. So like, this is currently my roster right here of games I downloaded on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I saw an ad, I'm like, okay, that might be interesting. But then I get irritated with these because what happens is you play around and then you have to watch 10 ads before you can play another round.
No, I know that. Yeah. So, I do keep on those. And like I said, I usually will get up. I'll read comic books, or honestly, I'll fall asleep. Let's face it. I do that a lot. But so you do play more than me.
But you still enjoy gaming. Like, you got you try to look out for the games that you're going to like. Yeah.
Like, I'm very much nostalgic on the games I like. Like, I am very big into the games I played as kids. So I do like the newer Breath of the Wild and Symphony of Sky, I think it is, for the Zelda franchise that came out on the Switch. So those two games have come out. I have played those.
And you've played the 2 Paper Marios they put out.
Yep. The Origami King. And I forget what the other one is. The 1,000 page something. So I look for the games that I have nostalgia or a connection with from my childhood.
And you also like the Arkham games, the
Yeah.
Batman games. You tried, what was it, the Gotham Knights, but you didn't like that one.
Well, yeah, because the gameplay was very different on that. And I did get into that, though, because I remember I was playing it down in Lake Charles when we went to go visit Glenn.
Yeah.
When you brought the X, I was playing that. So, but honestly, like, I don't like feeling like I've wasted my day because I'm stuck to a gaming system for 10 hours. I feel guilt from that. You don't.
No, I
You don't.
actually like sit there and debate whether I should start a Twitch or not. Like, let people watch me. Like,
Yeah, no.
because I'm like, whenever I'm not playing and we're like watching TV, sometimes I'm low key like watching somebody play a game
Yeah.
on my phone on TikTok while we're watching television, and I'm like back and forth. What are they doing on their game?
Yeah.
But we talked about, so I went on a trip with some students yesterday, and we talked about gaming at dinner. And I was asking people various different things. And I think what's interesting now is gaming is such a big, it's gotten to such a big point that, there are people out there that'll be like, well, I don't game, but I like to watch people game. Like, I like to watch them play through the stories because I like watching the stories. And I think that that's so interesting that that's where we have come from way back in the day with Atari and the first home gaming system. And now we have evolved to this point where people actually find entertainment in watching other people play these games.
Yeah. No, that's a you. I don't understand that. That's a you.
Well, that's also because, let's face facts, you don't like a side seat gamer. Like,
Yeah, no.
You're like, stop watching me play.
Well, I mean, that's because I'm trying to play it. But it's not that I don't like a side seat gamer. I don't like you watching me play games because you're like, look at over there. Look at like, do that. What about that? Like, leave me alone. Let me figure it out myself. I might take 20 minutes longer than you, but let me figure it out myself, And so you kind of direct me where I'm going. I'm like, leave me alone. I don't do that to you. But then when you play Dead by Daylight, I'm like, how can you not see that person right there? How many times have I told you you're so bad at this game? I don't understand why you play it.
You tell me that all the time.
And then when you give me the controls, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so I will go back to that, though, because like one of the things that I need simplicity on, and the Switch was a step up for what I'm normally to, but game controllers, the controllers themselves, like the Xbox has how many different buttons on it?
It's got the
four on the front.
It's got the
two
triggers on either side.
Right.
The two different controllers, one for the camera, one for the body.
Right.
And then it's got the little 4 square.
Which you can use the joystick for, though, too, right? Or no, for the...
Well, they do things like if you're playing like Dead by Daylight, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you hit the up portion of that, your little personal point. Or if you
it's got actions associated with it. Gotcha. Yeah, see, so when he gives me that stupid controller, when he's like, you want to play Dead by Daylight? I'm like, no, this makes my anxiety go up. I do not want to play this. Because I think I played one time, and the Jason villain was searching for me or whatever. I was playing a survivor or something.
You were playing the tutorial.
Yes. Okay, well, that was enough for me.
I know.
And he was coming after me, and I mean...
You couldn't figure out what button you needed to press.
No, because I'm running, and then I'm not running because I haven't figured that out yet. I'm walking really fast. I haven't figured out run yet. And then that sucker's like right on top of me. I'm like, oh my God. And so I start panicking. I start pressing buttons, and then I look like I'm having a seizure on the screen. My character's turning all different ways. His hands are going up in the air. I mean, it looks like I'm seizing, and then I'm dead. I'm like, you know what? I can't. The anxiety is just too high for this kind of stuff.
You got to get used to the controllers first.
I understand that, but I can't in the moment. My brain cannot access fast enough what I got to do and make my fingers do it.
Which is why you like the Switch.
Exactly.
It's less buttons.
Exactly.
But if you actually look at the Switch controller, it's not.
Oh, I understand. Well, and looking at Zelda, like everything with Zelda, there's a lot going on there. But the thing is like, I'm not in a life or death situation in Zelda trying to learn the controllers.
Yeah, you're not playing Resident Evil. You're playing Zelda.
Right. I mean, and give me some classic Mario. Run fast and jump. That's all I need.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so the controllers, that's one reason why I don't play a lot of Thomas's Xbox. Now, I will say the Batman games on the Xbox were definitely, they had a lot of the controls. And
They
I
have
think
good stories.
they do. And that's one of the reasons why Gotham Knights for me was not a good one, because the controls completely switched from what they were in the Arkham games. And I'm not talking about like small switches. I'm talking like a massive, like what used to be this is now completely on the other side of the controller.
Right.
Like that kind of, I can't code switch that much on controllers from games.
Well, that's what I find when people do reviews of games, like the most recent, like for instance, Mass Effect,
Mhm.
right? People were complaining about controller changes because it did, like the way that you play the game kind of had to change. It wasn't that they changed like what buttons did what,
Mhm.
but you might have to like click this to go
Yeah.
and cycle through a menu to
Right.
find your
Right. They move things around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially for people who play a lot of games, it's a lot of muscle memory there.
Mm-hmm.
And for like me when I played Zelda, so I stopped playing Breath of the Wild. I got to a part where I was kind of like, I stopped playing it. And then I went back a year later.
Yep.
And
I remember.
I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to start all over again. Because I couldn't remember where I was in the story.
Well, I think you tried to play the sequel,
yeah,
right? And then you were like, no, I've got to go back and finish the first game.
Yeah.
And so then you went back and then you were like, oh, I can't pick up where I left off because I don't know what happened.
Exactly. So I just went ahead and restarted the game itself, and again, I could pick the game up now and play it. Like I get that now. But there was just a part of my life where I just wasn't invested in it.
Mm-mm.
And I started playing the Midori's Cap or something on it recently, probably in the last 6 months. And then was that during summertime maybe or Christmas time? And I just kind of, and when school started, I just kind of stopped. I thought about that. I haven't played it in a while, but again, life gets in the way. I don't have time for that right now.
No.
Like I just really don't. School is ending, but there's a lot of things at home that I have to work on as far as projects at home. And you saw what happened to my spring break this past week.
Mm-hmm.
It got sucked up in what did I get accomplished?
No.
Nothing.
I'm like, nah.
I caught up on my sleep. Yeah.
Well,
to be fair, I needed to catch up on that.
You did buy my bookshelves.
I did.
So,
we did. Yes. But very much so just kind of, I start playing video games like you today. You're like, I'm playing my video game, and then I kind of started getting sleepy, and then I kind of
took a nap. Yeah.
Yep. You went down like a ship.
Well, to be fair, the video game that I'm playing is the third or fourth time I've tried to play this video game that everybody loves. Everybody says, oh, it's so great. If you like Dragon Age games, you'll love this. But it's just kind of boring. So it puts me to sleep. To be fair, even games that I've played a lot of, like, the first playthrough of, for instance, Dragon Age the Veilguard, which just came out.
The new one, yeah.
And I loved it. I was like invested.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed awake through it, right? And then I started my second playthrough over, I think it was either winter break maybe, and I would play for a little while and I'd start to get sleepy. And I think it's just because I'd played through the story before, and it wasn't that it was boring or anything. It's just that my mind's already been like, oh, we've been here, we've done that. The adrenaline rush of playing a game for the first time and having all the jump scares or the whatever things that you need to be alert for. So the more tried and true the game, the more likely I am to pass out.
Yeah. To be fair though, with both of us being educators, we are tired.
Yeah.
Thomas this past weekend had 2 days of going out of town, 2.5 hours away, to sponsor EYL student for a competition, for academic competition. So he was gone all day yesterday. I mean, like 7 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 last night, 7:40 last night. And then Friday was kind of a short day, but he was there at 6 a.m. What was it, 7 or 6?
No, it was like 5:50.
Okay, yeah, I thought y'all left at 6. And then didn't get back until probably 4ish.
Yeah, or like between
3:50, 3:30ish.
Around 3, yeah.
So, that and so and I'm going into full season with track. We're both going into testing season because we're 2 weeks out from our test for state testing. I have rehearsals all week this week for Shrek. And, I'm not getting home until 6:30, and I leave pretty early in the morning time to head to school.
Not to mention it's exhausting being a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. So And I will say that when I get home, if I sit down, what happens?
You get nothing accomplished.
Right. So I need to stay up and moving, for as long as I can if I want something accomplished. Well, spring break did not work out that way because
But
there
you
were
needed your rest.
3 days where I did nothing but veg. And not even veg on TV, just vegged on the couch, like just or the bed. I slept a lot. Yeah.
You wasted good gaming hours. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you're not wrong, but there's a lot of stuff that I wasted as far as comic book reading and
but it's not a
working on
waste
the room and the
because
house and stuff.
It's not a waste because you needed the rest.
I will say, like, that's the problem with a 2-day weekend is like you really the first day is like nothing but recovery, and the second day is try to be productive.
Yeah.
It's not really a weekend.
Yep.
Because you really don't have time to really regain any of that. But yeah, so that's our video game, I guess.
Lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I play more than you, and I'm
Yeah.
over here like maybe I'll start a Twitch, maybe I'll let people watch me, but then I think I'm not that interesting when I play video games because I really don't.
You don't have the commentary.
No.
I have the commentary.
See, and that's what we should do. You should be my commentary while I play.
Yeah, but it's different when you watch people playing Twitch on their Twitch accounts and stuff like that. It's because they're talking while they're playing about their gameplay. Like it's their commentary. So they know what they're saying. I would have to be reacting to you.
Well, what I think is interesting about that is like I like to watch them play. I kind of tune out what they're saying because usually they're having conversations with people in their chat or, people that watch them.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care.
Well, yeah. So I would need to be able to see. I'd need to be able to be in your mind to comment on what's going to happen here or something like that. Like I can respond to what you do. And some of my stuff is funny sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not, I kind of feel like it's Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Well, and then also the games that I would want to play on there are the games I've already played. So it's not like, it's not like
it wouldn't be as much
jump
fun.
scare is going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as much fun.
Yeah.
So
let me ask this. So you freaked out over Resident Evil.
Yes. As a kid, though, not.
Well, you don't really play horror games either.
No, because I get freaked out as a,
But did you try? I think you tried to play the Alien Isolation game, which is, I think, by far the most terrifying game I've ever played. And I think you said, nah.
Did I?
I think you said, nah, I'm good on that.
Was it big? Why? Do you remember why I said that?
It's one of those stealth games where you have to like hide.
Oh,
because
yeah.
You can't. You can't do anything. There's no weapon that you can fight against it.
Yeah, this is the one where you basically are hiding, and if you even breathe, it'll come find you.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'd have a crap fit right there. I'd have a fit. Like seriously, when you'd lock, I'd be hiding like in a locker, and all of a sudden the damn door would open up and the alien would come and get me. That's when I would start having my seizure on my controller. My little character would be like having a seizure. Just kill me now. Just kill me now.
Which is why you can't play Dead by Daylight because it's basically the same thing.
I'm just like, just come kill me. I'm right here. Just come get me.
Well, okay, so you did buy, though. I remember this. You bought for the Xbox when it first came out the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah.
And you did play that a little bit, but I can't remember. Did you play as Jason or did you play as
So that goes back to I prefer playing as the villain because there was one game for my PlayStation 2 that I had, which was Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought that one shark game. Remember, what was it?
Maneater.
Okay, for Xbox, right?
Right. And you played that for a while.
I prefer being the killer, not the killie.
You're like, let me do it.
Yeah, it goes back to my theater like stuff. I prefer playing the villain because, in life you're so used to being, not the villain that it's nice to play something else. So if I can go in and be the killer,
yeah,
it's when killing becomes boring that you should worry.
I like playing horror games because I like horror films, and it kind of feels like you get to put yourself in the movie. But then at the same time, I can tell, like, even when I play Dead by Daylight and I'm sitting there, like, trying to get the gate open at the end of a match, and I can feel my heart in my chest.
Yeah, see, I don't need that anxiety. Life gives me that anxiety for free. I don't need that.
And so I know what you mean by that. But then that's why I also like the narrative games, and I like getting into the characters. Like, you have
made fun of me for my Mass Effect and Dragon Age. You're like, why are these are stupid games? And I'm like, but it's about the characters. Like,
I know, but what happened? I thought you were going to say you make fun of me. I make fun of you because you're stupid is over there crying in a video game. Like, you cry.
when people die, yes, I do.
Yes.
Because they mean something to me. They're my friends.
They're not your friend. They're a video game character, you douche.
Yeah, but I have had conversations with them, like literally, like I have chosen what to say to them. Like, you know, it just kind of makes it.
And maybe that's the difference between you and I. I can't get that invested into it. I can't.
Well, but here's what I think is funny is you say that, but you play Legend of Zelda and
But I
Zelda
don't
games, and they're very similar to that.
But if one of the Gorons died, I would not be like, oh, he died. I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, it sucks to be him. Moving on.
But I think that's a you thing. Like you don't get invested in TV shows that way either.
No, unless the dog dies. The dog dies, I'm like, oh my god, here come the tears.
Oh, so then you don't need to play Fable 2 where the dog dies.
No, let me tell you.
The dog that has followed you around. The villain kills the dog first.
I would burn the place down. Let me tell you,
because he's gonna shoot you and the dog jumps in the way. Then you have to have your final battle with.
I'm gonna tell you, like anything like that, man. When you were watching something and you hear the dog yelp off screen because it does something, or like anything like that, I'm like, no, I'm not watching this. I'm about ready to go through the screen and kill somebody. No, I cannot do that kind of stuff.
No,
but I can kill a human on the video game. I don't mind doing that, or an alien. But don't hurt a dog.
No,
cats don't care. Dog,
you're like
no, yeah. So. Okay, so that's our conversation, I guess, on video games.
I guess hopefully it wasn't
as bad as going to the dentist to get your teeth pulled.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It was pretty dry at the beginning.
Yeah, it was, and it got better at the end, I think. But I think it's more if you are the two of us, you would have enjoyed that.
That's why we need to do a podcast on relationships and marriage. So I think our relationship is very unique. Not really. But I think our relationship is just interesting because we have fun with each other and we make fun of each other, and that's part of it. That's what has made us last a lot longer than others.
So in other words, stay tuned for a future podcast where we talk about our relationship.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
It'll be fun.
Okay. So usually at this point in the show, Brandon likes to go, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are...
I don't care. We're not doing that. This is my show today. We're going into trivia now, though. So we will do trivia. We do stick to that tradition, at least. And so what category do you want?
Do entertainment.
No, that's not that kind of thing. You need to pick.
Okay. Well,
let me
get
a list? Yeah. Yes, there's a list. It's called the Table of Contents.
Table of Contents.
Nope, there is not a list.
Uh-oh.
So let me pick one for you. I'm gonna do something easy for you. Authors.
Okay.
They're five answers.
Okay.
You don't have to go who is or whatever. Like, I don't care about that.
Okay.
In his cat's cradle, Felix Honecker creates Ice 9, a substance that can freeze the world solid.
So is that the plot of the book?
Yes. I'm asking for who the author is. In his cat's cradle, that's the name of the book. Cat's Cradle.
Mm-hmm.
Felix creates Ice 9, a substance that can freeze the world solid.
I don't know. That one I don't know. I'm not familiar with that book.
Okay. Who is Kurt Vonnegut?
Oh, Vonnegut. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know him, though?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Song of Solomon was the first of her novels to have a male protagonist.
Is that Toni Morrison?
That is, yes. Congratulations. You got 1 point.
Yay.
He based Nora Charles of The Thin Man on his friend Lillian Hellman.
Stephen King?
Nope.
Okay.
Dashiell Hammett?
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Okay. Oakland's Heinold's First and Last Chance Saloon was a favorite bar of this White Fang author.
Jack London.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the last name of the twin brother authors who penned Sleuth and Amadeus.
Nope, don't know that.
Schaeffer?
Okay.
Schaffer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Is it my turn to ask you questions?
You want to do more questions for you since you didn't get a lot?
No, I'm good.
You want me to do New York City?
I mean, you can, but I
No,
don't really
no.
know.
I'll give that one to Brandon 1 week. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Pick a category for me, one that you think that I will be successful somewhat in.
How about biology?
Already did that one last week,
Dang it.
and I knew them all.
How about historical quotes?
No, what you do know me.
I do know you. Okay, let's do this. I think you might be able to do this. Pop music.
You don't know me. But let's do it. Let's do it. If I know it, I know it. If I don't, I don't.
All right. Here we go. This one named singer was still a teenager when Royals put her on the map.
Lord.
Very good. This singer sampled a Talking Heads song for her hit Bad Liar.
Don't know that one.
Selena Gomez. This this British boy band gives us the modestly titled Best Song Ever. British boy band.
One Direction.
Very good.
Almost said the Beatles.
This neo-synth pop group that had a hit with Pompeii has the same name as a French prison.
I've heard of the song Pompeii, but I don't know the band name.
Bastille.
Okay.
And last one. The name of Janelle Monáe's debut EP came from this 1927 silent German film involving an evil robot.
I have no idea.
Metropolis.
Okay.
So you got
the same amount you did.
2 points. We're tied.
Yay, we're both idiots.
I don't think we're idiots.
I just don't think that I don't know why you picked pop music of all things. Like, I don't listen to pop music.
You do listen to pop music.
No.
You listen to pop music. I hate to break it to you.
That's because you make me listen to
Celine
it.
Dion.
She's not. That's
Britney Spears.
Those people are modern pop.
A-Teens.
I don't listen to Britney Spears.
You have before.
I don't deny the other two.
Deny.
I don't deny the other two.
Cher.
Yeah, but she's not pop. Anyway. So that's it for this week's episode of From Art to Atoms.
I'm Thomas.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
I'm Michael, and he is
Thomas.
All right, you guys have a great week. We will hit you up next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to From Art to Atoms, The Ultimate Curiosity Show, episode number 27. Your hosts this week are Michael Folse and Thomas Folse. The show is produced by Michael Folse and is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show to stay up to date on all our latest episodes and news. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggested topics you'd like for us to dive into, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email us at FromArtToAtoms@gmail.com. We would love to hear from our listeners, and we value your input. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated on upcoming episodes and behind-the-scenes content. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at From Art to Atoms. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platforms. Your support helps us reach even more interested minds like yours. If you'd like to hear more of me and Thomas banter back and forth, let us know that also in our comments on Instagram, please. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay curious, everyone.